Burrow airs it out. Chase. Hello. Touchdown.
And I got a voice inside that needs to be fed.
Are two of the best historically, just not thus far. Against these receivers.
Making the judgments again, and there is Smith rolling free, breaks a tackle. Ohio State strikes quickly.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Ohio Sports Talk. I am your host, Doug. That's the coach, Jordan Maxson. Jordan, how you feeling, buddy? What's going on?
Hey, much better. I just kicked flu A. I just kicked the ammonia. I had a respiratory. I looked miserable on our last show.
You did.
Hey, big shout out to Burke, though. Denzel Burke joined us for a little bit of time while he was getting ready for the combine. He was in Indianapolis, gave us some time, so big shout out to him. I can't wait to see those stats. Can't wait to see everything together and cover his combine times. But feeling a lot better, Douglas. We're diving in. Another busy week of sports, a busy week of hoops.
Definitely.
You know, Ohio's at the epicenter of a lot of things again. How are things in your neck of the woods?
Doing good, man. Lila had her second tumbling class. She's getting back in the mix. She's excited. There's like an open gym thing on Saturday for them at her gym, so she's excited to really get back into the mix on the tumbling equipment. Jordan, like you said, Denzel Burke on Monday night, massive interview, a great conversation. I mean, I love how personable he was, had that big smile, the $1 million smile. I'm super excited about him and his combine this weekend. If you have not seen that interview, go to our YouTube channel. We have it there. It's easy to find. Excellent stuff, Jordan. But we have a loaded show tonight, Jordan. Yes. We've got a big announcement here at the top of the show. We've got Ohio State hoops from last night. FC Cincinnati played last night. And then we've got Bengals, Browns, combine information, and then a little bit of Cavs here at the end in the news and notes section. Jordan, loaded show. How you feeling tonight? Are you excited? I'm pumped, dude.
I'm excited. Big things in the work for us. Big things in general for our teams. Not so great news when it comes to our NFL teams for both of our sides. We just can't get out of our own damn way, but we'll get into that. So let's go. Let's ride.
All right, guys, let's transition. Our big announcement coming up. Jordan, I'm going to roll the clip. Here we go.
The Red Hot Reds podcast. Here are your hosts, Ricky Logan and Roger Straz.
Jordan, there it is. Let me switch here to get Ricky and Logan on the screen. Guys, the Red Hot Reds show is officially joining Ohio Sports Talk. Ricky Logan, Roger Straz. Ricky, let me come to you first. We've been talking about this for a couple weeks now. Tell us a little bit about, how this came together. What made you decide to join the Ohio Sports Network and start your own show?
Well, I liked what you guys are doing, and you reached out and you said if I was interested in a podcast. And oddly enough, I think I reached out to Roger about a week before, and we were like, hey, maybe we could start a podcast. And it just timing worked out perfect.
Roger, obviously you and I started speaking here earlier today. Super excited to have you on. When Ricky approached you, how did you feel? Because, I've talked to Ricky. I know he's super knowledgeable, knows a lot about the Reds, but I didn't get, I got to only speak to you for a little bit. What brought you into this? What's your background when it comes to the Cincinnati Reds?
Background, to go quickly, I moved to Ohio in 2011, and you guys were good. I went to a couple games. I'm originally from Chicago, and I like to think I'm a reformed Chicago sports fan because I don't know if you've seen what's been going on, especially my dad's a Sox fan still, and he can't even turn on the TV to watch them. But anyway, that's besides the point. So in 2011, you guys were good. You guys had Aroldis Chapman throwing 115 off the mound and get in the playoffs with Dusty, for that good stretch. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done. Then dropped off. Kind of my Reds fandom kind of dropped off as well watching them. But after 2023, I think Ricky and I really kind of connected through the internet on Reds Twitter and stuff like that, and we started really following the Reds. So much so that we started writing about the Reds. Like I have a blog, the Substack letter, a website that I write through, and Ricky writes through his We Like Sports blog, and we connected through that because we just loved writing about the Reds. We love writing about Cincinnati sports, and we were like, this seems like the next step. We come together, work together, and put a good product hopefully out about Reds baseball.
And I've read a couple of your guys' pieces. Ricky, I know I've been able to see a little bit more of his work, but I know based on what I've seen from you guys, I know you guys are knowledgeable. I know you guys put together good pieces. I'm very excited about having you both. Ricky, now that Roger's given us a little bit of background on him, talk to us a little bit about your fandom.
I've been a fan my whole life. I'm originally from the Sacramento, California area, but I moved here. I was like a little kid, but Reds my whole life. I've been the Riverfront, Great American when they opened. My family, my dad's a Giants fan, oddly enough. My mom, she was in the Marines in the '70s, so she got to celebrate the Big Red Machine when she was serving.
Awesome.
So, yeah, hoorah.
Hell yeah.
No, that's awesome. Okay, so a little bit deeper here. We're going to be starting the show here. I know like I said, we're 28, 27 days away from the season starting. The initial plans are for us, we're going to record your guys' show and release them on YouTube Premium. And then once you guys have gotten your feet wet, we've started to get some interaction. We've started to get some little traction there. We're going to transition into doing live shows with you guys. I think that's going to be exciting to get in there and have those live viewers to interact with, to talk baseball with as it's going along. Red Hot Reds, newest show on Ohio Sports Talk. Beyond excited, guys. Let me go a little bit deeper now. Let's talk a little bit of Reds here. I'm not going to take away all the fun stuff from you guys, but let's start with you, Roger. Expectations coming into this season. Again, we don't have to go crazy with it, but how are you feeling about this team? What are you expecting going forward?
Yeah, it's kind of tough. Like vibes right now for the Reds are good, right? Like if you're tuning in a little bit just to the spring training games that have happened the last couple of weeks, they've been hitting this, like the players that you want to be hitting are hitting. The pitchers that are pitching well are definitely they're getting in there, and above
What's
all,
going on, Drew?
Yeah.
Nope, keep going. Yeah.
Above all, that they're all healthy. So expectations are through the roof. I've though seen some pieces and articles and stuff like that how Francona is trying to fight against that optimism, because basically in baseball, it happens everywhere except probably this year Colorado, White Sox, the A's they probably have no hope. Everyone else, they're all got at least some hope of what they could do next. I think the Reds definitely have playoff aspirations, and I think they can, especially with now they have a expanded wild card. It'll be tough because the AL or the NL Central is not necessarily going to win. There's not going to be a team that wins 100 games. So the best chance for them to really kind of get a secure playoff position is to win the Central. But it'll be difficult with the Cubs, and the Brewers always seem to win 85 to 90 games every year. So it's kind of like the vibes are high, but we got to make sure that everyone stays healthy and we get the pitching that we got last year, and the guys, like McLean, CES, come back and come back with a fervor that can really push this team to that playoff contention.
100%. Ricky, similar question. Outlook, expectations for this season.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. You get a manager like Terry Francona. I mean, it's hard to not get excited. You got an arguably top 10 greatest manager of all time. I mean, it's really hard to not get excited about it. And then to add to that, you got Ellie going into his third season. He's got potential to be the face of the sport, and Matt McLean is phenomenal. CES could be a Pete Alonso type player. And then, honestly, Will Benson struggled, but he could be a solid outfielder that could really get 20 home runs, 30 stolen bases. So there's a lot of potential. And then you got Spencer Steer. He's your super utility guy. There's so much that they have. And then to add to that, Hunter Green getting Cy Young votes, Nick Lodolo if he can stay healthy, Andrew Abbott if he can finish a season strong. Like there is so much potential. And I'm super excited.
Yeah, no, 100%. Jordan, I know we're excited. This is, early baseball. We're getting those jitters. We've been excited about a couple weeks here. Spring training has started, guys. I'm going to ask you, I want you to take away Ellie De La Cruz because I think that's an easy answer. Roger, let's start with you. Who is the most important player on the Reds this season?
Yeah, we both touched on him a bit. I think it's Matt McLain. Missing him last year, it put a hole in the lineup because he hit 300 in 2023, more or less, most of the year. And he's also, it seems to be really close with Ellie De La Cruz and the double play tandem there. Not saying that, Jonathan India wasn't a serviceable player at second, but I think definitely McLain, he's a much better player, and he's younger, and he's, just growing into his own as a player. And I think that if he's leading off or hitting second and De La Cruz third, it makes the lineup that much more difficult to go through. If he hopefully can stay healthy the whole year, can be productive, I think he's probably the second most important player on this team.
Ricky, same question to you. Maybe don't pick McLain because we know now that Roger's played it out. Who else to you is one of the most important players on this team this season?
I'm gonna go with Nick Lodolo. I think if he can stay healthy and pitch the way that I know he can pitch, we have a solid 1-2 top of the rotation pitcher.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good one. Nick Lodolo, who dealt with that blister and those nagging, that nagging type injury last season, definitely, set him back a little bit. Guys, we are super excited to have you guys on the team. Red Hot Reds, I think it's going to be excellent. I'm beyond excited for you guys to get in the booth and get started, working to, going to those getting live shows, getting the live viewers, guys. 830 live viewers now for us tonight. So, guys, if you are a fan of the Ohio Sports Talk show, please, please, please check out the Red Hot Reds. Ricky, I know you've been working on some social media for you guys. Tell us where we can find you right now, and tell us, where's the easiest place to get in touch and see some of your guys' up and coming content.
Yeah, I created a Facebook page. It's Red Hot Reds Podcast on Facebook, Red Hot Reds Pod on X, and Instagram, Red Hot Reds Podcast.
Okay. Guys, any last thoughts for us before you guys get out of here tonight?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, very thankful for having that. I really appreciate also you guys cover like all Ohio sports. You guys do it all, and that's amazing. Like the guests that you guys get is great. I hear Jordan's really good in the back channels, getting everybody that he can to come onto this platform, and we're very appreciative of all you guys have done for us so far already, and look forward to working with you guys for the rest of the year.
Yep, and then there it is, guys. Facebook, Red Hot Reds Podcast. Instagram, Red Hot Reds Podcast. And obviously, we'll keep working. We know we'll get the X up there and everything. Guys, we've got a lot of work to do together. I'm excited about where we're going to go. Having you guys on the team is huge for us. I'm just very excited to have you both. It's been fun talking to you guys. I know we talked about getting you here 10 to 15 minutes. We're hitting right at that 15-minute mark, guys. Jordan, any final thoughts?
No, welcome to the Ohio Sports Talk family. We're super excited to have you guys here. Can't wait to see what the future holds for us. Douglas and I have been diehard Reds fans for a very long time. His family is even hardcore, deep rooted into it. So I've been to many games with his family. It's always a blast. Can't wait to get to the ballpark this year. Do some coverage, get some guys on, and talk some Reds baseball, hopefully for the better. Not so much the worst like we have in the last few seasons. So thank you guys for coming on. Can't wait. Welcome to the Ohio Sports Talk family. I'm glad that we were able to kind of get this going, and can't wait to see what the future holds.
All right, guys, we're going to get you out of here. Thank you, guys. We will be talking soon. See you, Roger. See you, Ricky. See you guys next time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Jordan, there it is. Obviously, something we've been working on behind the scenes. I've been talking to Ricky, pretty much every day for the last week or so. And then I got to connect with Roger today. So it's been fun bringing 2 new guys on the team, Jordan. Something that we've talked about in the past, and now we're making it happen. And, we've got the live viewing has been excellent recently. It just feels like the right time to expand the team a little bit and, just keep growing and keep trying to improve our show and our sports talk, however you want to word it, network. We're not a network, but we're growing and we're trying to improve. And I think this shows people that we are serious and we're taking the next step, and we're going to bring great Reds coverage going forward. Quick shout out to Drew in the chat. Yes. Drew, thank you. It means a lot for us for you to be in here and supporting us. We really appreciate that. Quick shout out to Corey. Stopping in and giving her support as always. The support system for Jordan over there. Love that from her. I know, my family, they're asleep right now, so they're not watching, but we appreciate it, guys. We're working forward and we're working towards the next thing. And tonight's the start of that, Jordan.
And definitely shout out to Drew. Check out their program, Cincy Unfiltered. We'll do a little.
Everybody knows. They know. They know Cincy Unfiltered.
They know, but it's always they mention us on their show when they can. So we want to give the love back. Definitely, just in this Cincinnati area, the table is big enough for everybody, and we always appreciate it. So
don't watch us; we stink. Oh my God, those guys are the best. Definitely. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate
trying to get a collaboration though. We need to get them on. We need to get something together here soon.
All right, Jordan, let's transition. Ohio State basketball last night. Buddy, they tough loss to UCLA, and then they come back last night on their West Coast trip, and they beat USC. USC not as good as UCLA. Let's not get that twisted. But the Ohio State offense was really good last night, Jordan. They had 4 guys score over 15 points last night. 87-82, a high-scoring game. What are your thoughts on the Buckeyes win last night to move them to 16-13?
We'll definitely make that happen, Drew. But my thoughts, man, they are the vortex of if anybody was a fan of Kings On when they had a roller coaster called the Vortex. It looped about 3 times. It had about 3 corkscrews, and your stomach was messed up afterwards. But that is the Ohio State basketball season, Doug. It is. It is one loop, another loop, and a corkscrew. Just when I thought we couldn't, the terrible loss to Northwestern, the loss to the loss to Cal.
UCLA.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
UCLA. It's all West Coast to me. It all blends in. The old Pac-12 is now part of the Big Ten. I still can't wrap my mind around it some days. But it's definitely a roller coaster. This team is just it's resilient, but just the inconsistency is there. What we saw against UCLA was just times of just no scoring, horrible offensive rebounding, horrible rebounding in general, and then it looked like a different team against USC. I know the competition is different. USC is not as good, but at the end of the day, they're still on the West Coast. Still fighting all that, hoopla on an opponent's court. And it's what I wanted them to play the game before that.
They needed that against UCLA.
They did. And there were times against UCLA where they had a shot to make a statement in the game. I'm not saying they're necessarily going to win, but it could have been a lot more competitive early on. So, Doug, it just goes to Diebler's in and out record, and the
inconsistency that we talk about all year.
The inconsistency. It's just another statement of inconsistency. We'll see. I believe they have 2 games left before the Big Ten tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Nebraska early next week, and then at Indiana to close out the week, and then it's Big Ten tournament time. Jordan, they need to win both those games, buddy. They've got to win both those games.
They got to win 4 straight.
I mean, they've got to at least win 3 or 4 more games, in my opinion, to be secure in the NCAA tournament. I mean, Right now, they are sitting at the They're at the 10 seed right now in the Big Ten tournament, 16-13. They have a good resume. They have a solid resume still, but you want to be secure. You want to know for sure that you're going to make it in. And I think they've got to beat Nebraska. They've got to beat Indiana at Indiana. And then they've got to go in and they've got to win a game or two in the Big Ten tournament, which is going to be difficult. The Big Ten is stacked, dude. I mean, that's just a good basketball conference right now. They've got 5 teams ranked in the top 25 right now and 5 teams ranked inside the top 20. So it's no cakewalk getting wins in the Big Ten. And Ohio State has some decent wins in the Big Ten, Jordan. Any final thoughts on Ohio State? We'll obviously talk about them more next week before their Nebraska game and before the Indiana game. But any final thoughts on last night's game?
I beat it like a drum. I'm ready to move on.
All right, let's keep it moving. Last night, Jordan, FC Cincinnati, they 1-1 tie this time, but they advance. They had the goal lead 5-2 over FC Montague. However you say it, I'm not going to be able to say those names. I'm from Ohio, so it's a lot harder than you think to come up with to pronounce these names for whatever reason, Jordan. What are your thoughts, buddy, on that game last night? I'm going to keep saying it, dude. I'm going to keep saying it. Kevin Dinky, however you want to say it, that guy is going to lead the MLS in scoring goals this year. I 100% believe he's going to lead the MLS in scoring this year. How do you think it's going to shake out? What do you think?
I think we found a diamond in the rough, especially after trading, however you want to call it, giving away, trading, departuring with Acosta. Doug, it's not all bad. I'm seeing more team play where, and great players are built for bigger moments. So, Acosta having a lot of those moments shouldered on him, that's what he was there for. But as a unit this year, we look a little cleaner. I know this. Yeah. I know this is a small sample size. We're in early of the season, but these guys, it looks more gritty. It looks more exciting. So, and I'm going to back you up there. I think he finishes, if not one, at least in the top 5 for scoring. So I'm extremely happy with where they're going, and the trajectory is only up, Doug, because this hasn't been a letdown like a lot of people thought it would with Acosta's departure. So, small sample size, still need to see more product, but so far, Douglas, everything's great. And that's not something that I thought we'd say early in the season. I thought we'd be having this conversation kind of towards the midpoint of the season. But, I'm excited. All hands on deck right now for FC Cincinnati.
Well, Jordan, let's quickly review and let's give the management group for FC Cincinnati some big time ups, because they brought in Evander from Portland, who is a great player, a guy who was a great goal scorer, just a great soccer player in general for Portland last year. Then they brought in Kevin Dinky from overseas. They brought in Lucas Engel. They've went out and they've got players and they've supplemented what Acosta brings. And like we've said here a little bit, I think they've created a better team now. Now, maybe Acosta's maybe a better individual player, but they brought in a better team around everybody with Dinky's ability to score, with Evander's ability to control the ball and make plays. I think this is a better soccer team this season than we were last year. And it's really exciting because, FC Cincinnati just continues to grow and grow and grow in this area. And, they've become a staple for sports here in Ohio. And they've got a game on Saturday, Jordan, against Philadelphia Union. Philadelphia Union's also 1-0. They have 3 points also. That should be a good game. That should be a fun game, Jordan. A game that I expect FC Cincinnati to win. But Philadelphia Union is no joke. They're going to be a tough one. So what are your thoughts on that Saturday game? Before you answer, 1,100 live viewers. I wanted to shout everybody out. That is insane. Thank you so much on a Thursday night. Thank you guys for showing up for us. We really, really appreciate that. Again, if you missed our Denzel Burke interview, please go check it out on the YouTube channel. Jordan, back to your thoughts on Philadelphia versus Cincinnati on Saturday night at 7:30 on MLS Season Pass.
I think this is going to be a fun one. Give me a 2-1 FC Cincinnati win. I think it's going to come down to probably the extra minutes and extended time. I think FC Cincinnati pulls it off in a gritty one. So give me an exciting finish here. Give me 2-1. FC Cincinnati advances.
All right, I'm gonna go 3-2. I think it's a little higher scoring. I think Denke gets a goal or 2 goals, and I think Evander puts one in also. I'm gonna go high scoring with that one, 3-2, Jordan. All right, let's keep it moving, buddy. Let's keep it moving. Do you want to talk Browns or Bengals combine first?
Doug, I saw a lot of the conversation on our X feed, spearheaded by you for Browns Nation. So I'm going to let you. I just feel like that's a bigger topic. Just what's going on with Myles Garrett and a couple other things that meeting with the quarterbacks and stuff like that. It's just a bigger stepping stones in your franchise right now. So I'm going to let the Browns. Let's go all in for Cleveland at the moment.
Okay, so let's talk about it then, Jordan. Myles Garrett reconfirmed today he has no interest in signing an extension in Cleveland. He wants to be done with the Cleveland Browns. I understand people are upset because this media tour he's gone on, the way he's gone about this, it's not exactly perfect, but he's also played for this team for a long time, and he's played on a lot of bad football teams. And it doesn't feel like it's going to be fixed within a season. And I understand that side of it. Do I need him on every media channel talking about how he doesn't want to be here anymore? Probably not. That does hurt a little bit. So I do understand people, kind of getting into that diva level. I do understand it. I just, it sucks. It really sucks is what it is, Jordan. You're losing a superstar. You're losing a fantastic player in Myles Garrett, most likely. If not, then he's going to have to sit out and lose a bunch of money. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this shakes out. Because if we trade him, Jordan, it's still a major hit on the cap. And the Browns don't have a ton of cap wiggle room right now with the stupidity of Andrew Berry and his regime. That moves me to my next point, Jordan. Andrew Berry absolutely sucks. Absolutely sucks at his job. I don't trust him to make good draft picks this year. I don't trust the vision of this team going forward. I don't know what this team's doing. I'm guessing one more bad year that we'll get Andrew Berry removed, but we're wasting seasons in the NFL, and you can't do that with the toll it takes to play, in the NFL. It's just too much to ask. It's wasting seasons, and we continue to do it, and that's exactly why Myles Garrett wants to be out of here. Wasted seasons. Jordan, let's talk a little bit at the actual combine. Go ahead.
I just want to put a bow on what I think outside looking in as a non Cleveland Browns committal, but as an AFC North fan myself, if Andrew Berry didn't go on, and it's just my thoughts, if Andrew Berry wasn't consistently telling the media he's part of our plans for this amount of time and moving forward, maybe Myles Garrett wouldn't be on talk shows saying that he wants to be no part of it. I think I think that they're not clashing at the table, so they're clashing indirectly on every media outlet they can get their hands on. And I think if Andrew Berry was just honest with himself, and it's nothing you never want to lose a superstar, but you can't Calvin Johnson this relationship. You can't force somebody. I feel like that's where it might go, but hopefully Andrew Berry's not that ignorant. It's not this just outside looking in. It's not fair to the fans. It's not fair to the player. This is a talent that needs to be seen on another field, and get him to the NFC side, get him out of the AFC. There are teams lining up. Go get your king's ransom, be part of the defensive rebuild, and move on. That's just how I feel about it. Don't waste his talents. Don't mimic my team, the Cincinnati Bengals, who let people go for nothing, or just sour the situation to where we got to beg guys to come back for putting their name in the Ring of Honor. That's just not the route to go. I'd love to be celebrating Myles Garrett's time in Cleveland 3 to 4 years from now. Get him in your guys' Hall of Fame, get him in your ring, get him in the new stadium somehow later on. And just, I hope the situation goes the other side where everybody can kind of win. And that's just my final thought on it. Let's move on to the combine.
Okay, so the Browns have met with Shedeur Sanders. They've met with Cam Ward. They've met with Jalen Milroe. They've met with Harold Fannin. They've met with Tyler Warren. They've met with Mason Graham. They've met with a who's who, Abdul Carter. They've met with a who's who in this draft, Jordan. And all the messages we're seeing from Stefanski and Barry, to me, it feels like a quarterback is going to be taking it too. I know everybody wants to overanalyze and try to figure out what the hidden meaning is. Jordan, to me, a quarterback at number 2 is the answer. And it's similar to why I said earlier. To me, if you draft a quarterback at 2, if you want to get a bridge quarterback, I understand. But to me, you need those reps. You need those throws. You need that pressure situations. Sometimes that pressure breaks people, and sometimes it's too much. But if you believe in one of these 2 guys, I believe they should be the starter day 1. And I believe we should grow with them and let that first year, if we're going to do it, make it a year full of experience. Getting to learn this offense, getting to run this offense, getting to get comfortable as an NFL quarterback. That's what I would do coming out of what I've heard so far from the combine. And I believe that Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward will be taken at number 2 by the Browns. I think there's phenomenal football players. Mason Graham is a phenom. I hate the fact that he went to Michigan, but he is incredible. I don't know if he could be Aaron Donald, though. If I thought he could be Aaron Donald, I would pull the trigger. Abdul Carter, excellent, freak. I just don't know if he can be Myles Garrett. There's, and this quarterbacks, it's a similar thing, but I would rather take a big swing on a quarterback. That's just my opinion at where the Browns are currently. What are your thoughts on that?
See, I'd love for you guys to take a swing at quarterback because Cleveland needs quarterback stability. It's been something that's been a checkered past. But Douglas, I disagree with you on one thing. I think they should, the way Carson Palmer was introduced to the league, I think your guy has to hold a clipboard for 1 year. I would get a bridge quarterback.
That doesn't happen anymore.
I know, but
even the bridge quarterbacks get benched.
But look at my thoughts here. I look at everything that Joe Burrow may not have had to gone through with his injury as a rookie. I don't think you guys have the offensive line. I don't think the offense itself is going to be the offense of the future. I think that that whether it's coaching or offensive line or even the weapons on the outside, I'm not saying tank his freshman season in the NFL, but Doug, if he held a clipboard and you guys had a losing season, then you're able to go back to the draft and produce offensive weapons around him, ones that aren't going to cost you contracts up front. That's the route I would go if I was a GM. That's just
okay. That's fair.
In this day and age, injuring a quarterback in a rookie season, it happens all too often. I think of RG3. I think of the injuries that Andrew Luck retiring early, and I think of even the trajectory that the injuries that Joe Burrow has had to suffer. They haven't. If you can't get adequacy around him year 1, he needs to hold a clipboard. But I would love for the Browns to go and get a quarterback as soon as possible in this year's draft.
And the reason I also believe that is because money is such an issue. You need 4 years of control over one of your best assets in a quarterback, because we have to reset the money situation in Cleveland. There's a lot of hard decisions that have to be made coming forward for the Browns. So, and then, with the Nick Chubb news of him entering, free agency, we talked about that. I joined the Bearded Browns podcast the other night. Go check that out if you can. Bearded Browns are great when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. Those guys are fun to talk to, but talked about it with them. Nick Chubb now enters the free agency. Running backs, there are a lot of damn good running backs in this draft, Jordan. I'm excited about the prospects of getting one who's young, who's got 4 years of control on his contract. That's enticing to me. I'm excited about that. I'm going to miss Nick Chubb if he does end up leaving. Nick Chubb has been my favorite player as a Browns fan these last 5-6 years. He's been a phenomenal running back. But those, things come to an end, unfortunately. And as big of a fan as I am of Nick Chubb, I want the franchise to succeed more. And I think going and getting one of these young stud running backs is the correct move going forward. Let's transition, Jordan. Let's talk about your team. The Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati football Bengals. Who knows what these guys are doing? Who are these guys? Has Duke Tobin ever told the truth? I'm just, let's just talk about it real quick because we didn't get to talk about it. The T. Higgins situation. Duke Tobin comes out and says, yada, yada, yada. We're working, we're close, yada, yada. And then T. Higgins the cap heard around the world is what Justin Kenner called it. The cap heard around the world. What were your thoughts, Jordan, from the outs from as a Bengals fan? Sorry.
It's
Blow it
more
up.
the
Blow
same.
it up.
It's,
Blow it
it's,
up.
it's you know what? Hold on. Let me take a shot for Gene Hackman here.
Oh, you didn't even give us a chance to get to the end.
Oh my God. Okay. Now this is in my system. Okay, Doug. It's more of the same. Duke Tobin has been spouting off the same shit for season after season after season. Whether it's been the T. Higgins ordeal, whether it's been guys exiting all the way back to, Carlos Dunlap wanting out, Geno Atkins quietly retiring when Lou got there. It's been the same shit. We are no closer right now extending T. Higgins beyond the franchise tag than we were 400 something days ago. This is the same song and dance. I think he's lying. I think he's lying right out of his fucking teeth. What's left of them that aren't veneers. But it doesn't make any sense to me. If we were going to sign him, he'd be signed, Doug. You signed your talent. The Philadelphia Eagles have showed that, and they went out and they won a fucking championship. Yeah, and they stopped the three-peat. So that's just my thought on it, because it's not just T, it's Trey. It's if we were going to keep Gilsecki around, well, why don't we have a qualifying offer out? Why don't we have news there? It's just the same shit. If we're going to restructure Joe Burrow's contract, where's the news? Where's the money? Where's the dollar signs? We hear all the great things, Doug, but that's just what we want to fucking hear. And that's the Browns family MO. That's Mike Brown's MO. That's Katie Blackburn's MO. We had one good Super Bowl run where they actually spent the fucking wallet. And Doug, it hasn't been the same since. We're living in the past. We're trying to Great Gatsby it. You can't just relive the past. Well, why not, my dear boy? This is why you can't do it. And it's, I think he's a liar. I'm just going to, I love the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be a fan forever. But Duke Tobin is a straight liar until I see the results. And it's got to be that way, Doug. I can't talk positive when I don't see results. If that'd be like me emailing you every day, Doug, I'm in the gym, I'm getting in shape, I'm doing this, I'm putting my shots up, I'm doing that, and then when you don't know it until you see it. I show up to the hardwood, and I'm fat, I'm out of shape, my 3 balls missing, or it's too much to the left. Or, I'm throwing a football and it's not getting into your hands. So it's a crock of shit. It's a crock of shit.
I know. You've summed it up well.
I'm stopping it. It's a crock of shit.
Let's transition to the actual combine now. We've heard some of the names that you guys have been looking for. Let me ask you this. And I know it's very early still for draft stuff. We've heard that you guys have talked to Tyler Warren. We've heard you guys talk to Loveland from Michigan, the tight end. We know you've talked to the pass rusher from Georgia. We know you've talked to some of these defensive ends, defensive tackles, those positions, and tight ends. Where are you leaning right now at the first pick? And then we'll get into the actual combine stuff.
I said trenches 3 weeks ago on the show. And that's where I continue to fall on. I'm going to fall on the sword. I would love to see a defensive tackle or a defensive end there. I think we have enough depth, if we get the signings right, at tight end at this point to carry us over for a draft of next year. But the defense is number one. Joe Burrow can make any tight end look great at this time. So I would love to see us go for a pass rusher or somebody who can, defend the run as a defensive tackle.
Okay. Anything from the combine you're looking forward to up for this weekend that you're, maybe a position group you're watching, because obviously you guys need defensive help. We know that. Linebacker is an interesting spot. What are you looking forward to this weekend?
Linebackers and secondary players. Cam Taylor-Britt is not a lock, in my opinion. He had an up and down season. Newton is a late 4th, early 5th round, if I can't remember right. He had flashes, but he is not a starting caliber guy that I would want on the outside on a consistent basis for Sunday. And we know Jermaine Pratt has demanded a trade, so we still got that in the back of our mind. So I'm looking at skills positions on the defense. I'm looking at safety, cornerback, and linebacker.
Okay. Any final thoughts on combine stuff, Jordan, before we can keep it moving?
No, I think we summed it up perfectly. We'll continue to tweet out and get out who we're talking to, and when he's 40 times in some of these individual workouts, for those athletes that aren't lazy asses and actually showed up to the combine and are doing their due diligence, we'll get that information out to our fans. So,
of course. All right, let's transition to news and notes. Jordan, let's talk quickly about the Cavaliers. Big game tomorrow night, Jordan. At Celtics, 7:30 ESPN. Celtics got a couple guys dinged up, potentially not playing. Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown are dealing with questionable. They're questionable right now. Cavs are ready to go with their 10-man group. After that 40-point win against the Magic, Jordan, how you feeling about this game tomorrow night?
It's always Boston, Doug. So that it's always Boston.
It always comes back to Boston.
But it always comes back to Boston. That's the golden standard for the NBA because they are the reigning defending champs. That is the golden standard for the East because they are the reigning defending champions of the Eastern Conference. So this to me, this game is everything. Even if the Celtics come out a little banged up, I haven't seen the latest news on Darius Garland. If the hip.
He's good. He's good to play. He's playing.
He's good to play.
Yep.
Two games rested up with the bench. Got to play some serious minutes in his absence, Doug. I think we're primed. I think this game's going to tell us everything we need to know. Like I said, this is the first time without George Niang, the first time without Karis LeVert in the Kenny Atkinson era that he's going to go against Boston with his official roster post-trade. So, I want to see what Hunter does. And I want to see if the core four can respond.
Yeah. Some big matchups tomorrow night. That's going to be a fun game. That's a must-watch game, Jordan. And then we have the game on Sunday. We'll recap all that on Monday for us. Jordan, let's quickly give Gene Hackman his flowers, an incredible career, an Oscar-winning actor, a former Marine like yourself. I'm going to play a quick clip for you, Jordan, just one of his speeches in one of his movies.
Coach McGinty, what will Washington need to get back into this ball game?
Heart.
I'm sorry?
You gotta have heart.
Can you elaborate on that?
Miles and miles of heart.
Jordan, that's just one of those, that's one of those fun clips. Gene Hackman has 1,000. Hoosiers, Enemy of the State. He has all these classics. Lex Luthor, he's won all these awards. A phenomenal actor throughout his career. Passed away. I don't want to get into conspiracies or anything like that. Interestingly, passed away today. We hope everything's on the up and up there. But a phenomenal actor for at 95 years old, he passed away today. So we wanted to give him a little tribute.
Yes.
Replacements, great movie. He's had some just absolutely phenomenal performances in film. Any last thoughts there on Gene Hackman, Jordan?
No, we lost a good one. Loved it, loved his nation, served his country, and always was the guy in Hollywood, whether it was light comedy action and Superman where he takes his wig off and he says, "I'm Lex Luthor," or something as serious as having a showdown with Clint Eastwood. And while in a Western movie with Morgan Freeman, Unforgiven, which everybody won an Oscar for, and like you said, just on and on and on. And we know Coach Mike Fresh was quoting Hoosiers early this morning over on X. So shout out to him. But just haven't got a good one, and we'll 95 years. There's nothing to not hang your hat on there. So hope we can all live that long and make it as big as an impact on everybody's life. So
for sure. Well said.
Rest in peace, Marine.
Yep. So like Jordan said there, rest in peace to Gene Hackman, a great actor. Jordan, loaded show today, man. Loaded show. We had a lot going on. We introduced the new show on ours, Red Hot Reds. That'll be helmed up by Ricky Logan and Roger Straz. the newest members of the Ohio Sports Talk family. They're going to be crushing Reds Talk. I'm so excited. Jordan, here's the thing. We get into it. We can get into it, pretty far, but these guys will be able to really dive in and get past those surface couple layers and really break down, pitching staffs, games, lineups, all those things. We run a show about all Ohio sports, so we can't always deep dive. And that's what these guys are going to come in and do and provide a great show. So please, if you see them on social media, give them a follow, give them a support. Their shows are going to be on our YouTube channel and eventually on our X account and on our Facebook also. So you will see all their content. We will be reposting all their stuff. Exciting news for us, Jordan. Exciting stuff. Ohio State got a big win last night. FC Cincinnati moves on in the CONCACAF, whatever league that they were in. And they have a big game on Saturday. Browns and Bengals, combine stuff this weekend. We'll have some reports on that on Monday. Anything left, buddy? I feel like we talked about a lot of stuff tonight.
No, we are rocking and rolling, sir. It's all been covered. A little bit of high school action. The Ultra Knights are looking to make it to UD Arena. They have a big important game this Saturday to move on to make it to those rounds.
They're playing Taylor. Is that who they're playing? Taylor.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Coach Fresh and them keeping the wheels on the axle, and hopefully we'll be reporting some good news on Monday. So.
Yep. Okay, guys, 1,325 live viewers tonight. Thank you so much. That is our second most watched live show. That means a lot to us, guys. I'm your host, Doug. That's the coach, Jordan Maxson. We will be back Monday night live at 9 o'clock. See you then.